On the next McDougall MD, we've got one of my childhood heroes, Jack LaLanne.
And I'll tell you how to prevent osteoporosis.
Be here.
This is Hello Channel.
Most of us have heard about osteoporosis, weakening of our bones as we age. But did you know that more and more people are keeping strong bones into their 80s and 90s? It's true, and we'll tell you how. Plus, do your old-time TV memories include Jack LaLanne, television's original fitness guru? He's still going strong, and we've got him. I'm Mary McDougall, and this is McDougall MD.
Oh,
Hey,
hi, Mary.
John.
It's been one of many great hugs. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
But you know, sometimes when people hug each other, their bones break.
Really?
That's right. They break ribs. You just give them a simple little hug, and
Oh, dear.
that's not right. And to get to that point, you have to lose about 50 to 75% of your bone. And we call that disease osteoporosis, and that's now a household word. And people think it's just a natural part of getting older, or they think it's due to estrogen pill deficiency.
But it doesn't have to be.
Or calcium deficiency.
Calcium
they think it's calcium
deficiency.
deficiency. And they have so much misinformation. Let me tell you why people need to start questioning what they're doing to prevent osteoporosis. What you need to do is you need to look around the world and study different populations of people, see how they live, what they eat, and how strong their bones are. What you find surprisingly is the people who consume the least calcium, don't drink any milk, no cheese, no calcium pills, no Tums, the least calcium in the world, have the strongest bones, the least hip fractures. And these are people from rural Africa, for example, New Guinea, and Hong Kong, Singapore, they've been studied. Rural China, they've been studied.
No osteoporosis.
Extremely rare to non-existent. In fact, in the British literature in the 1980s, they used to argue in the letters to the editor whether they could find a single hip fracture in a black African woman. Now, of course, when you take it and move the African lady to the United States, she starts to get hip fractures almost as common as the white. And the Asian, who again has very little hip fractures while living on a diet of starches and vegetables and very low dairy intake and very low calcium intake, when they move that Asian lady to the United States, she has hip fractures even more than the white in this country.
Okay, so what can we do to help ourselves?
Well, the first thing you got to do is get rid of that calcium myth.
It's not about calcium.
It's not, well, calcium is important, but you get plenty of calcium in all of your foods. Let me ask you, where does calcium come from? It's kind of a trick question.
I don't know exactly. I mean, I would immediately think of like from milk.
They'll say milk,
from milk.
Or maybe they'll say plants. But if you think about it for a minute, where does it really come from? It comes from the ground.
Oh.
It's little rocks, little minerals in the ground, and they dissolve in watery solutions, and the calcium and other minerals are taken up by the roots.
And goes into the food.
That's right, and then you go and eat the plants, so you get your calcium.
And what plants are high in calcium?
Doesn't matter, they all have plenty of calcium.
Broccoli.
You cannot lose unless it's been a highly refined plant. Okay, so once you decide that it's not due to calcium deficiency, and it's really not, and in fact, you won't find a honest scientific textbook or nutritional textbook that says that osteoporosis is due to calcium deficiency. They say it's due to bone loss of bone material. Then you start looking for other possibilities.
Then why are we losing the bone?
Well, I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. It has to do primarily with the animal foods in our diet. Now, let me tell you how it works. You realize that meat, and when I say meat, I mean poultry and beef and chicken and fish. These are muscle foods. And these muscle foods, if you look at them, if you look at their nutritional makeup, you find out that they're very acidic. They have lots of amino acids in them, and also very many sulfur-containing amino acids that break down into sulfuric acid. So the overall load that it delivers to the body is acid. Eggs are the same way. Now, the body is slightly basic or alkaline. So when you add this acid load to the body, you have to buffer it. The primary buffering system of the body is the bones. So the bones dissolve, and that's the first step in losing your bones. Now, the animal proteins, the animal amino acids, the acid itself, all of this goes to the kidney and changes kidney physiology. And then what happens is the bone material you've released into your bloodstream is now excreted through the kidneys, through the urinary system, and out into the toilet. And in the process, that bone sometimes solidifies and you get little round bones in your kidney system. We call those calcium kidney stones.
Ah, okay.
So there's two different diseases. So if you want to prevent osteoporosis, the primary thing you have to do is you have to keep your animal food intake to special occasions, like turkey for Thanksgiving or fish for a special night. Night out, you can't have an animal protein-based diet.
And so taking calcium pills will do nothing?
Well, it does a little bit, but not
Does a little
much.
bit.
And certainly you don't want to get your source of calcium from milk because there's too many hazards from milk. You're talking about a food that will make you fat because it's so high in energy and so high in fat. We're talking about a food that has been condemned for causing heart disease and possibly strokes, possibly cancers, adult-type diabetes. So if you're going to err on the side of taking calcium, take calcium pills, and then you covered all bases.
Having your milk.
It's not a solid recommendation. There are a few other things that people have to keep in mind if they want to take advantage of everything they can do.
Okay.
Exercise.
Exercise. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely important to keep
a
those
stronger
bones strong.
body to protect the bones.
And there's some minor issues such as sodium intake, caffeine,
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah, I know. Phosphates in sodas would be another issue. And I think if you really pay attention to the diet, you get out there and get exercise, then you'll be able to have bones for a lifetime. Our Creator did not design a woman or a man to live to be 85 years old with a set of bones that only last until they're 50. Makes no sense at all. They're supposed to last for a full lifetime of a man or woman. And they will if you take good care of them. And good care of them is good nutrition, like so many things, and also a good lifestyle, good healthy lifestyle.
And speaking of eating well and having a healthy lifestyle, John, you're going to love our next guest. Just ahead on McDougall MD, get ready to pump up your attitude with Jack LaLanne.
So what I say, exercise king, nutrition's queen, put them together, you got a kingdom.
Hello. The job market is a competitive place. In today's economy, extra skills mean a better job for you. Speaking English is the skill you need for greater opportunity, more money, and a brighter future. Introducing Hello Channel, an exciting new television channel that teaches English as you watch TV. There's something for everyone, and the more you watch, the faster you'll learn. All you have to do is say hello.
And welcome back. You know, Mary, I used to watch Jack LaLanne when he was younger, and when I was younger.
I watched Jack LaLanne when I was growing up. My mom used to exercise to his show. You are going to love this interview. You know, he's a vegetarian.
I'm really excited about it, and an inspiration. I mean, he does things that that people much younger couldn't even think of doing.
It's very true, and you'll enjoy him too. I recently had a chance to visit with this man, and he is as inspiring today as he was 30 or 40 years ago. Mr. Jack LaLanne. Was there a specific event that happened in your life that started you on your exercise program?
Oh yeah, I was a sick kid up till 13 or 14. I was a complete full-blown sugarholic. When I was about 4 years old, I was a real psycho. I got into sugar. My mother used to appease me all the time. You know, go to the potty chair or do this. She'd always reorder with candy and ice cream. And I got hooked on sugar, boy. That was it. And so they took me out of school for 6 months. And it was during that time I attended a health lecture.
Did you stop eating sugar?
Immediately. I went home. After that lecture said that if we, regardless of our age, if we obeyed nature's laws, we could be born again. What are nature's laws? The exercise you do, the food you eat.
What on earth ever possessed you to start your amazing feats?
I had to prove that you could be a champion athlete and still be a Mr. America type. And you could be 40 years old and still, because most of the people, you're over 40 years old, you're over the hump. So I said, how am I going to prove this? So I put handcuffs on, jumped off from Alcatraz prison, which is supposed to have been an escape proof. No prisoners ever escaped from there. And I swam handcuffed over to San Francisco. And this got international publicity, you know. And every 3 or 4 years, I would think of something more difficult. Then I did on the Art Baker You Asked For It show, I did 1,000 push-ups in 23.5 minutes. And then another birthday, I did 100 handstand press-ups in 5 minutes. And then on Lake Ochinoco in Japan, I towed 65 boats with 6,500 pounds of wood pulp and things. Handcuffed and shackled, I pulled those 2 miles.
You have accomplished so much in your life. What is, in your mind, your greatest achievement?
I have one thing in my mind, to help every man, woman, and child, to get them motivated and educated about what they are missing in life if they're not in good physical and mental condition. So you can't separate the mind and the body. It's impossible. That's why people get up in the morning, they get aches and pains. It affects your mind. Your energy's down, your vitality, your self-esteem is down. People should get up in the morning with energy and vitality, you know, and disease-free and pain-free. See, anything that happens to Jack LaLanne, anything, good or bad, I made it happen.
What is your daily routine when you get up in the morning?
I get up at 5 o'clock, and I work out for 2 hours, and every 3 or 4 weeks I change my program completely.
And what exactly is your diet? What is your combination of diet and exercise?
If man makes it, don't eat it. You name me one thing you put in your body that man hasn't fooled around with. The air you're breathing right now, the water you drink, your fruits, your vegetables, insecticides, pesticides, artificial fertilizer, all your animals now with stilbestrol, they're high-bred things, and man's got his tongs, too much sugar, too much salt. That's all the reasons why one has to exercise vigorously. See, exercise keeps up your immune system. So what I say, exercise king, nutrition's queen, put them together, you got a kingdom. And you don't have to be a nut about this. If people can't get, say, 5 raw vegetables a day, now, is there anybody can't do that? At least 3 pieces of fresh fruit every day. And the grains you eat, instead of all these processed white stuff, you know, brown natural rice and barley and wheat and oats and beans, these are all natural things in their natural state.
So do you take vitamins?
Oh, 50 or 60 a day at least. Everything natural vitamins, natural enzymes, vitamins and minerals and herbs. You absolutely have to take extra vitamins and minerals today because everything is picked green, then it's stored, then it's cooked. Cooking kills. You cook things most over 100 degrees, most of it, the nutrition's gone. So you've got to replace that.
I know that you had gyms and health clubs from a long time ago, and now there are so many health clubs, and especially kids who are trying to get healthy, and there's steroid use now. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, if you take steroids, it's just like going to bed with a rattlesnake. It's going to get you. There's no doubt about it. But you'll never, ever get rid of steroids as long as the standards are all these big muscles in the veins sticking out. The emphasis in America, they don't care. It's winning. They don't care how they win. They'll do anything.
With someone who's watching the show and they're a bit older and they haven't necessarily kept up with an exercise regime, what do you suggest for them as far as diet and exercise?
Okay, you 70, 80, 90-year-old people, right now they're what? I want you to take care of it. Get your feet up there and hold it. If you can't do that, you're in bad shape. No. You know, you can't believe what we are finding out now. They take people who are 95 years old. They double their strength and double their endurance in 6 to 8 weeks with weight training. You know, everything now. See, I've been preaching this now for over 50 years about building muscle. The older you are, the more you should exercise. They take people now, they add 3 to 5 years onto their lifespan with exercise. See, you don't get old from years, you get old from inactivity. Now they're getting these people up and around, swimming and walking and weight training, get them taking vitamins, get normalizing their weight. They're adding wonderful, not actual years onto their life, what they are doing, but they're adding life to their years.
Now, I know you think it's all about perspiration, but I have to tell you, personally, for me, you are an inspiration. Thank you.
I love that kissing, no calories.
Isn't he great?
He's very inspiring.
Oh, he was great. He was so much fun, John.
I hope I can be that great when I get to be that age.
Oh, me too. All that exercise. Next, we'll join Mary McDougall, who is John's wife, in the kitchen right after a short break.
Hello, I'm Ruth. Learning to speak English can change your life. Knowing this valuable language can provide you with so many opportunities in education as well as the job market. Now you can learn English just by watching television. Introducing Hello Channel, a channel designed to help you learn English right in your own home. You can choose from Hello Channel's classroom programming, or you can watch great entertainment. All of it will teach you how to speak English. Hello Channel offers programs on every level, so you'll find something exactly right for you. start today to build success by learning English. For a brighter future, say hello.
Lasagna has always been one of my favorite dishes, but when I found out about all the cheese, all the fat, all the cholesterol, I was really stuck until Mary figured out a way to make it healthy. And you're going to learn how to make a great lasagna that tastes just as good as the old lasagna, in fact, even better, and it's healthy for you.
And it's also easy to make.
Well, that's even
It
better.
is. It's
Well,
very easy to make.
that's the best part of all. Has
And
to
I
be
used to
easy.
make this, I used cottage cheese,
Uh-huh.
and I put the spinach in along with some onion powder and garlic powder. Well, I substituted tofu. that
so
you
this is
crumbled
tofu
up.
in
This
here.
is tofu
with
with frozen
spinach
spinach that
uh-huh.
you press all of the
Oh, no,
liquid out.
that's easy because
Yes.
it's frozen.
Okay. Then you add a little onion powder and garlic powder.
Uh-huh.
Mix it all up.
And you put it right into the powders right in there.
into that, so it gives it some flavor.
And tofu is America's new favorite food, you know. People are, tofu to
love
prevent breast
tofu
cancer,
everywhere.
tofu to prevent prostate cancer, tofu to prevent heart disease.
Are you complaining?
No, I think it's good. What I'm saying is, she's real trendy with this recipe.
Yes. Well, we know that Mary's very hip. So,
Now let me show you how easy it is to make.
Let's see, yeah.
You can buy bottled, fat-free pasta sauce in the store,
Oh,
or you
okay.
can make
That
your own.
smells great.
And you use a little bit
Oh, you just
in
put it
the
right
bottom
in there.
of your pan like this.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and we're gonna just kind of leave
Just
it
a little
there.
bit, okay.
And then you take uncooked
Uncooked noodles.
lasagna noodles.
Oh, okay.
And you spread this out a little bit along the
But
bottom.
now these aren't whole wheat. Will you eat them, John?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I will eat them, Mary. They are just perfectly fine.
Okay,
because
I
all the
just
other
wanted to
good
know.
ingredients in there. But it would be better if you could find whole
It
wheat.
would
Can you
be
find
better.
whole
You
wheat?
can-
Or
you can-
spinach?
You can find spinach.
But then you'd have
lasagna
too much
noodles and-
spinach,
And you
probably.
can
Oh,
find
no, it
whole
tastes-
wheat lasagna noodles
Yeah,
if
now
you
that I
like.
think about it, I remember we used to do it with whole
But
wheat.
this is very familiar to people.
Yes,
to
it
have
is.
The simple noodles.
And Mary, you have to think about this as a little bit of a special meal too, in the sense that you're using tofu, which is 54% fat.
Oh, okay. So it's a rich one.
It's a little richer. And
yeah, but lasagna is.
Yeah.
Well, you can find, light tofu, which is less fat.
Less
Still
And
isn't
Mary, what is
fat-free.
this over here? That
This
looks.
is soy.
It's soy
Soy
cheese.
mozzarella cheese.
90%
can I try
fat,
some?
Mary.
And you can find.
Try it? Do we need it all? Can I eat it?
You can try some.
It's really good. You just can't tell the difference.
You really can't.
But the fat is a much healthier fat.
Well, and then you just go ahead and you layer it just like
Just
regular
layer it
lasagna.
just like regular lasagna.
Well, that's
We're
great.
gonna
Did you
finish
put
this,
these on here?
And then we're going to lay those just over the top of this.
Just over the top? And how many layers do you usually do? I know
I
because of the magic
usually
of
do,
television where
2 layers. And I
Usually
finish with
two?
a layer of noodles, and we'll show you how that works.
Great, can I help you with this?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll just get this going.
And
So this
the
is
other
this.
thing about that tofu cheese that you ought to know is it doesn't have the dairy protein, which a lot of people are allergic to.
Right.
And so that helps. It has much less environmental contaminants.
No, and
Okay.
tofu
less
cheese is
chemicals.
different than soy cheese.
No,
Or
this
no,
is soy
yes?
cheese. Did I call it tofu cheese?
Well, some soy cheeses are made with soy milk. Some soy cheeses are made with tofu.
Okay. Well, either
And
one
then
of
you
them
pour
are going to
this
be,
over
they're gonna
this.
be
Right,
healthier
and then you
for
do
And then you do
another layer.
another layer of noodles and another
Okay.
layer of each of those things.
Okay, so now we know that.
Okay? Just like that.
Right.
Now we'll lay our noodles
do
across
layer.
there.
Layer of noodles again.
Okay.
And then we do
And then
that.
if you want to, you could, break this off
Break
and
it up.
cover it all up. But they do expand
Oh, okay.
when they
Well,
get
that's good
cooked.
to know.
Because you don't have to cook them ahead of
Mary,
time.
this is so fast. This should be in your quick and easy cookbook. Is
Should
it?
be. No, it's
It's
not.
not?
It's actually a fairly new recipe.
I'm going to reach. Now, what is this? Is this a grated soy topping? Is this sort of
That's like a Parmesan.
like a Parmesan? Oh, this is great.
And that's going to go over the top.
Well, I have to try it because
Okay.
we know I have to try everything. So let me see. Here's a taste test. Well, it's not quite as salty as Parmesan cheese, but it is really good.
We used to put a jar on the table that
Yeah.
had a P on it. It was an old pepper jar, and the kids thought it stood for Parmesan cheese.
Oh.
And we
So you're
used the
tricking
soy.
your children.
They didn't know the difference. They
Didn't
thought
know
it
the
was
difference.
the,
They
they
thought
thought it was the same old thing.
Okay,
Okay,
then
now
we do
we're
this.
finished with that.
Okay.
Now
and then
we'll
what
put
do
the
you?
cheese on again.
Okay. And then comes the Parmesan cheese.
No, that goes on the top.
Oh.
after you put on your last layer of noodles.
So, you know, this would be a fun dish to make with your daughter.
I know. Sydney would love this
Yeah.
because she loves to put ingredients on.
Oh, and she could do it too.
Yeah.
She'd layer all this cheese on the top.
See, you
here.
said you didn't have anybody to make you dinner like I do.
I know,
There
I
you go.
didn't say-
You just get your daughter to
I
work.
said I would eat like this all the time if I had Mary in the kitchen with me. And she would come to my house and just live with me instead of John. I cook all of my meals.
all your meals.
Sorry, but we can't.
I know you won't
we
give
can't
her up.
trade Sydney.
We can share a name, and he won't come to be with me.
Okay.
No more on top.
Now we're going to put another layer of noodles.
One more layer of noodles, and then we pop it in the oven for how
Well,
long?
It takes about an hour and 15 minutes or so. Mm-hmm. And then I'll break that one, put it on the
There we
top.
go.
Okay.
And you put
And
these
then
over
we're going to
here.
cover
With
the rest
more
of it with a sauce.
And this is just an organic sauce that you picked up.
Fat-free.
Fat-free.
Fat-free. Lots of healthy tomatoes in there.
Most natural food stores sell it.
No?
No, just a minute. You first have
I'm
to
so excited about this.
flatten this out a little bit.
Oh, we have to flatten it out. Okay.
Cover it. Make sure all the noodles are well covered, otherwise they're going
Right,
to get
they
tough.
won't get. And then you bake it for a long time because you're not cooking the noodles first.
You
Yes.
cover it with parchment paper and then some foil.
Yes.
Okay.
Do
And then you
you,
cook it at what temperature?
350.
350.
And
for?
then you, for about an hour, and then you uncover it and let it rest for a few minutes before you serve it so that the sauce isn't too runny.
And then through the magic of television, here we have it.
Looks delicious.
All cooked and ready to go. Can we dig
We are
into
going
it?
to serve a little bit of it here.
Oh,
So you can
great.
try it.
Okay, this would be great.
All right, let's see.
Picked a great
All
time
right, well,
tonight to serve this. I'm starving.
I know. Well, we're going to eat this, and stay with us. We'll be right back. Here, John, you can have a fork. And you can have the first bite.
Why should you watch Hello Channel? Because learning English should be inexpensive, and learning English should be available to everyone. If you want a brighter future, join us and say hello.
I've always instinctively automatically done high carbohydrate, low fat. I look at the chart, if it says zero fat, which includes La Brea bread, I thought all these wonderful things that I love, cabbage soup, I just do high carb, low fat, and it gives me energy for running and also energy for my work.
No, I don't eat well at all. I eat bad. I eat a lot of junk food and everything. I love ice cream and cake.
I eat very high fiber, very boring, protein, and lots of raw vegetables and fruits. That's where the most vitamins can be found and kept.
You know, if people could just have a taste of this, they'd understand by including a few more vegetarian meals in their daily meal plan, all they give up is bad health, not good taste. This is absolutely
It is
fantastic.
very good, Mary. It's very yummy.
You get a lot
Really,
of pleasure
really
out of doing this, don't
I
you?
do. I really like to do this, and it's fun to adapt recipes and make them taste good.
Well, I'm sure, yeah, because people think of vegetarian cooking as so bland and boring, and it's really not. Not when you cook your way.
No, well, most people think of vegetarian cooking as salads.
As salads, there is no cooking.
And hard work. They think about it as
Yeah,
hard
it's
work,
hard
too,
work,
and
yeah.
it's not that either. Look at all the colors that are in
It's
this
beautiful.
recipe.
And if you would like this recipe, this lasagna recipe, you can write to McDougall, MD, Box 320, Newbury Park, California, 91319. Thank you for being here and cooking this for us, Mary. It's yummy. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you next time.